California was already shifting red before this. I don't know what this fire is going to do. And now the owner of the LA Times has some regrets.
At the LA Times, we endorse Karen Bass. I think right now in front, that's a mistake, and we admit that. And it's an interesting thing is that maybe we should think about how we elect people on the basis of, did they actually run a job? Did they actually make a payroll? Do they understand what it is? And rather than having professional politicians whose only job is really to run for office.
No one is defending California politicians. Even the New York Times says LA's been crushed under the weight of inaction. They don't need cuddles, they need a leader. Bass is in Africa. Newsom's dancing to the beat of his own drum. And Kamala's MIA. She just says, be patient. Because that's what I'd like to hear if my house burned down. You know, wait, we'll get to you eventually. It's almost like the media is begging for a man of action. I wonder who could that be? Michael Shellenberger is the founder of Public News. All right, so what are you hearing about what people are saying out there, Mike? You've done some reporting.
Well, good to be with you, Jesse. I mean, the firefighters themselves have been demoralized by what's going on. They know how to do their job, and they hadn't been allowed to do it. They should have been mobilized as early as January 3rd. They got the first warning from the National Weather Service on January 2nd. January 3rd, they got a second warning from the LA National Weather Service. Karen Bass flew to Ghana on the 3rd. The National Guard should have been called out then. They should have stationed fire engines in strategic places around Los Angeles. Jesse, there's 100 fire engines that are in the shop for repair at this moment that should have been repaired and should have been stationed around LA. They've been demoralized. Funding's been cut. They have twice as many calls per day from the fire department, half of them to put out fires by the homeless, and their staffing is down by a third. They were demoralized before this crisis. These are the people that we should be raising up and celebrating. They've just been demoralized by the terrible governance and lack of leadership at the state and local level. Yeah,
they did get almost a hurricane-type warning. You know, when you see the screen, 5 days out, it's in the Caribbean. Florida governors are able to pre-position the linemen, the sandbags, evacuate. You're saying they had a warning and they didn't pre-position anything, and 100 fire trucks were in the shop?
It's incredible. And that was part of what they needed, that $17.5 million that was cut, that was going to go, because at first you didn't quite understand what did they mean. They needed that money for mechanics. They needed the mechanics to get the engines out. You can, for $500,000, you can buy a used fire truck. The whistleblower that I spoke to was very frustrated. They said that you really should be stationing the fire trucks, get them in position before there's any fire, get those planes circling overhead to drop water and fire retardant so that you put the fires out before they can spiral out of control.
Wow. I mean, the more and more you hear about this, just the sadder it gets. Well, we hope everybody just continues to battle this thing, and hopefully it gets put out soon. Mike, thank you so much. Good luck out there.
Thanks, Jesse.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.